Welcome to the Urban Pulse Show. This is Sharea Harvey, and the Black Lives Matter movement is the focus of our show today. One of those incidents that started this movement was when George Zimmerman shot and killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. The incident took place in Sanford, Florida. Police say Zimmerman followed Martin, accusing Martin of suspicious behavior. Martin was walking to his dad's house from a store with Skittles and a drink. He decided to walk through a neighborhood that had a history of break-ins. Zimmerman was a neighborhood watch volunteer, notified police after he saw Martin walking through the neighborhood wearing a black hoodie. Zimmerman notified police of Martin and was told not to take matters into his own hands. Moments later, George Zimmerman shot and killed the 17-year-old. Following the death of Trayvon Martin was the death of Freddie Gray. Officials say that Gray was arrested due to a possession of an illegal switchblade. Not long after being arrested, Gray suffered from a spinal cord injury while in the hands of police custody. Following the death of Freddie Gray was the death of Eric Garner. Officials say that police suspected Garner of selling untaxed cigarettes. He died after being placed in a chokehold, which caused him to suffer neck and chest compressions. We wanted to hear what students have to say about the Black Lives Matter movement. Do they think it's still relevant or it's something in the past?
I do think people are focusing a lot. They're shifting their attention to police brutality when they should be shifting their attention on the elections that are happening right now in 2016, especially with the racism that's being exhibited from political Republican candidate Donald Trump and his racist antics and strategies for his campaign. I think it's limiting a little bit less. I still think it's a prevalent issue. People still stereotype others and stigmatize them because of what they're wearing or because of their skin color. So yes, I still think it's a prevalent issue, but not at its highest quality.
How do you feel?
I feel like policemen, when they're in their line of work, they tend to stereotype someone, especially when they feel threatened or when the person looks suspicious. So that's my opinion on it. They act upon their fear, but if you have fear in your job, why are you serving? Why are you serving for the protection of other people? Is my opinion. Why be in a job that's fearful?
It is because we still don't see each other as equal. Everyone is unique, but we're still not seeing each other as, we still look at each other as color. I feel like not everyone, but a lot of people still see a difference in color.
I think it's a great movement because it's finally shedding the light on all like the hardships that Black people are going through just because like the color of our skin. I think police brutality is just unfair. No one should go through police brutality. Officers here to protect and serve, but since police brutality is so like big, people don't look at police officers as like a safety blanket anymore. They look at them as more of an enemy.
When we're trying to say all Black lives matter, we're trying to make a point that Black lives need to be prioritized as well. So I stand with Black Lives Matter because they're overlooked and they're the ones being killed. So until they stop being killed, Black Lives Matter.
Now that we know what you think about the Black Lives Matter movement, let's see how the organizers of the movement are handling more cases of police brutality around the country. Ashley Sharpton, who is the daughter of Reverend Al Sharpton, says, "This is how many people of color feel about police working in their community around the country." Sharpton tries to protect her community at all times at running the National Action Network. The organization is there to help people who believe they have been treated unfairly. The Trayvon Martin case made a personal impact on Sharpton, which sparked her activism.
Trayvon Martin is a special case to me because that's actually what fueled my activism. I was born into the National Action Network, but I was not as active as I am today until Trayvon Martin lost his life. When Zimmerman was not indicted, I don't think I understood. Like, it was like the world changed to me because I didn't understand how someone that wasn't even a cop could kill somebody over some Skittles and a drink and then actually sit in court and explain it and get away with it. I still don't understand it. I'm getting angry now. There's no way you can twist it. There's no way you can turn it. And I don't understand how the law was twisted and turned and made to be understood so that it was like, oh, that was stand your ground law. What? That makes no Oscar Grant. Like all these, it's so many cases, and it's just like what the young man, like.
One of the cases that continues to fuel the fire for Sharpton is the Sandra Bland case. On July 13, 2015, Bland was pulled over by a state trooper for a minor traffic violation, which then led into an altercation. Several hours later, Bland was found dead hanging in her jail cell. Officials say that she committed suicide. The ruling of her death was hard to believe for many people.
Sandra Bland, my problem is this with Sandra Bland. Sandra Bland, they've said basically that they decided that she committed suicide, right? And now it's over. What happened to say her name? What happened to turning it up and shutting it down? What are we gonna do about Sandra Bland? Right now, nothing is happening. And from then across, we speak to her mom, you know what I'm saying? That's fine. But the point is, what are we gonna do? And that comes with, again, local laws, local policy, because that didn't happen, that happened in Texas. So that's a whole another ball game. And that's the problem. But we need lawyers in Texas. We need senators and policymakers in Texas to tell us what we need to do in order to get justice for Sandra Bland. Because coming from New York, that's harder to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how to get justice for Eric Garner. So we all need, there's a lane for all of us to do, and we all need to get in that lane and go, because we're losing. We really, really, really are.
Sharpton believes that marches and demonstrations only change the perception of police brutality problems. She believes change will come if people vote.
So I feel like we need to start stacking the deck. I think it's more than protests. We have protests, we have rallies, we have people that speak well, but you also need to have people running for the election, voting, but we also need to have people in place like Obama, but also the Senate. We need the Congress. We need everything stacked so that we have both sides equal. I think that's what we need to do. I think one of our biggest things we can do as millennials, if we're over the age of 18, is to vote. We do not take, I don't know what's wrong with us, but it's like we don't want the power. And it's like, oh, well, it's not powerful. How are you gonna say it's not powerful if you don't use it? You've never exercised it. We got Obama elected, and the everyone says, oh, everything didn't change. But that hope, you thought it was. And we did it. Now, Trump is about to come. I don't care what you spin, what you don't like about Obama. Trump is not for us. He said it in many ways, but blatantly. So at the end of the day, the most thing we can do right now in 2016 for the election is to vote. That's what I think.
Sean Bell's cousin, James Bell, says he fears the police. He recently got out of jail, and he knows even if he stays out of trouble, police can target and harass him. He is helpless to do anything about it.
The way he was killed, I don't respect, because like a lot of us, even myself, I came from prison, a lot of us are targeted. Being black, it's being like police brutality, like things like that. We're targeted for things like that. They have this search thing where they run up on you and search you and different things, and just being black, we go through that. Opposed to three black guys walking down the street to get stopped before three white guys, three Spanish guys get stopped. I just praise everything. But do I fear police brutality? Yes, I do, because I have kids that's black. I'm black. Yes, I do. And I fear the safety of everybody. They're here to protect and serve. I think they're here to protect and hurt. You ask me personally.
Sharpton says Bell's feelings about the police are not uncommon. However, it's important to keep sight of the final goal, which is helping the next generation.
It's on us. We can't give up. I think that we need to start being a little more respectful to our elders and learn from them while they're here the best way they can, because they've gone through this. They've seen this already happen. And they got us this far. Now it's our time to take us further. Now it's our time to do it for our young people. And though it looks bleak, like it's disheartening and it's depressing, if we don't do it, who will? I think as far as what we can do is teach our children the truth. Take care, be in our children's lives. Letting them hang outside all day is not conducive to anybody. Letting them hang out at McDonald's, that's not a babysitter's club. So you need to have activities for your child. You need to have positive outlets for your child to do. I think we depend too much on the schools. Honestly, it starts in the home. Everything starts in the home. How you act starts in the home. I think the relationship with police and the community can be altered. I have a problem with how the police treat us, but I also think sometimes we're too aggressive. It's not, why am I trying to fight a cop? Like, I was never taught that. My mother would never, she was in the Army. If there's respect to be given, and I think that we need to teach respect in our communities. We don't teach that enough. I think there needs to be more love, more unity. Unity is spelled U-N-I-T-Y. You can't spell it without you and I. And the black people in our race, all people, black and brown people, white people, we all tear each other down to try to get to the next level. And that comes to killing, that comes to everything. That even comes to population. There's too many people in America. Think about it. There's too many people on earth, so they have to figure out how to kill us. So they have to kill us through food. They have to kill us through water. They have to kill us in the urban community. Some people have to die. That's what this is about. Sometimes it's not even about race. It's about money, economy, who's going to live, survival of the fittest. So we need to be smarter and get fit and run. That's what we need to do. We need to start winning. Some people figured it out, like, and they united and they're winning. We're not. Some of us are. But when will all of us realize for all of us to win, all of us literally have to win. Like, literally.
Coming up next, we have a future mayor in town. He's not just any mayor. He's the future for Baltimore, and he's hoping to bring about change, especially for the Black Lives Matter movement. So go grab a drink, because I've sure got mine. So stay tuned for the Urban Pulse, because we got you covered.